Hi, Dr. Jim Terrell here with your September message for our Community First group. Knowing that this is the bridge that sort of like connects fall to summer, and we express ourselves in great and wonderful ways. And Community First, of course, is an opportunity to listen, to share, but most importantly, to love each other with compassion and care. And there's no replacement for any of that. Compassion and care is the ultimate tools that express life and that express love for each other and for our ongoing community, our larger community and our smaller community. Anyway, I've been reading a book called Who Do You Choose to Be by Margaret Wheatley. And I got some really good ideas out of the context of how we suffer from technology. Here I am recording in technology, you're watching in technology. But there's seems to be a loss of intimacy sometimes with technology, and that's why Community First is so important, because we get to express ourselves without any interruptions, any advice, just listening. And in that listening, there comes this amazing feeling of sort of the opportunity to show compassion and to feel a sense of compassion for ourselves. The other thing that happens too is this concept of thinking. The minute that we feel that intimacy with God, and we can start to see how God helps us think through life using love, using peace, using joy, using whatever principles we choose to think through the context of who we are and to find a new way of living and a new thought, a new idea, which can happen when we have that level of intimacy with God and with each other. Then, of course, there comes that business of listening. Who knows how powerful that is? Because when we listen to each other, the thoughts that are coming out of our mouths and returning to our ears and returning to the ears of those who are listening to us now are being processed with love. Because when every person commits themselves to listening with love, then all of those ideas become processed in love. And it's like we get to transform them into whole new ideas and whole new possibilities for expression and whole new ways of being. And then, of course, there comes that fourth expression, which we call meaning making. That means suddenly we find meaning in things we didn't see before. And that makes our lives richer, more prosperous, more expressive, more creative than ever before. But we give meaning to things like compassion, and we give meaning to listening, and we give meaning to see the healing already done in people's lives without ever giving any advice or saying anything. What that meaning does is it begins to give life new meaning. And life with new meaning is kind of like a new forest. A new idea just gives expression to being. Then, of course, there's that business of being present with each other. Because when we are present with each other, it's like saying, and so it is. When we're not present, we might be saying, well, so what? When we are present, we can say, and so it is. Because with our compassion and with our love for each other, with joy and with goodness, we can feel that sense of closeness. There's no substitute for that. You can't get that in technology. You can't get that by texting somebody something. You only get it by being there in the presence of love. So here's my treatment for you, my prayer, my affirmative prayer. Right here and right now, I know that the central relationship in every person's life is with God, with that oneness of life. Because once you are with God, you are with everything. Because you can't be with anything unless you are with God. And when you're with God, there's no separation in your life. There's just this oneness. And that oneness translates itself into thoughts, new ideas, because we open ourselves up to those new ideas. And so I say, God, bring those ideas forth in my mind as I unify with your love. And then I speak my word. And in that speaking this word, I'm listening to the truth and letting it move by means of me. So here's what I feel is moving by means of me for you, for all of us, for myself. There is a love greater than we've ever known. It's infinite in nature. It knows no limit to what it can be and to how it can express. It's the goodness of the world manifest at the highest level of thinking. I know that we're there. We're thinking that high level of love and that high level of goodness and joy. And it brings to our mind the way we think and the way we listen, but most importantly, the way we act and behave. So our intentions, our behavior, and our motivation are all lined up in complete cooperation with each other. There's nothing that is in contradiction because our faith has allowed us to experience the wholeness of being. So I know for each of us that goodness and joy as it moves forward, and guess what? In gratitude. And when it moves forward in gratitude, then that gratitude becomes the sense of who we are. Just grateful to be alive, grateful to be here, grateful for the day, and dismissing all disappointments and all seemingly obstacles out of our lives right now. And that gratitude goes forth in love, because love casts out everything that is unlike itself. And so I know with certainty in my gratitude that the law that is now hearing this word, which I'm releasing this word into, expresses it precisely for your highest and greatest good. And that is the truth. And so it is. Amen. Have a great September. Have a wonderful time. I hope to see you in church. Be sure you come up and say hello. God bless. God bless.